This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
We got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your
It's
hosts,
very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
We are back.
Yay!
Episode 332. It is the final day of August, which always makes me think that it's now officially over.
Summer is.
Summer. Yeah, I know it's officially the last day of summer is, September 21st, I guess.
Yeah.
But this feels like, the end of summer to me.
I'm ready for 70s and 80s.
I'm ready to not have any more 90s. I agree. And maybe the humidity can go down just a little bit. That would be nice.
I'm ready to wear a hoodie.
Hey, but there was a major hurricane that hit the Gulf Coast.
That's right.
Yesterday, Sunday into Monday.
It's supposed to be here tomorrow.
Well, actually, I was going to be telling you this, that it looks like it's going a little bit more northeast, so we might not get much of it here in Delaware, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, because it's supposed to affect the two counties north of us.
Yeah.
But I think we're supposed to get rain.
We'll get some rain, but I don't think we're going to
get the brunt.
any messy stuff,
Yeah.
which is good. But, of course, our thoughts and prayers are with all the people down there in New Orleans. And
It's nasty, man.
we were talking about this weekend, and I know it's a horrible thing to talk about, but this is when you talk about it, when things like this happen, and we wonder how many times are you going to rebuild this city that literally is below sea level.
Right.
I don't know how much. I don't think New Orleans was devastated quite as much as it was in Katrina 16 years ago.
Right.
It's funny that this Ida hurricane hit them exactly 16 years to the day.
Oh, is that true?
It was the anniversary.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Mother Nature's a bitch, man.
Get me to live there.
No, I don't want to live there. I'd love to visit, though. And I was telling you, I'd love to take you there when they put everything back together. It's a nice place to go in the fall. It's very steamy in the summer.
It's hot.
It's not a summer vacation destination.
No, God, no.
Well, speaking of vacations, we had some visitors this past weekend, which was fun. My sister and her family were all here.
Yeah.
We played games the whole time. Super fun.
2 days.
You went out and bought something.
I did.
Can you tell people about this? Because it's really friggin' cool.
Well, what I was trying... So we have a PlayStation 4, and we have the whole VR bundle kit that got to go with it for some VR fun games, mainly for Beat Saber, right? That's
We've had it for like 2 years, two and a half years. Yeah,
a long time.
Yeah.
My problem with that system is it's clunky, it's big. I find that if you're playing a game outside of VR and then you want to switch to VR, that for me, I've had to reset the whole thing.
Yeah, and start over. Yeah.
It's just become a pain in the ass.
And when you play it, so you're wearing, if you guys don't know it's virtual reality, what we're talking about, you're wearing this headset over your eyes. It goes over your head and it covers both your eyes. So you're playing the game looking at these television screens inside this thing that you're wearing on your head. But you're connected by a wire to the PlayStation 4, which is connected to the TV, and there's a camera on top of the TV that's looking at you to see all your movements that you're making as you're playing the games.
Right.
So there's a lot of components involved.
Exactly. And we also and we've talked about moving this, but as it goes right now, we don't have the recommended distance
you're supposed to
get back from
you're
the
supposed
cameras,
to be 7 feet. And the way we have the room oriented where we've been playing, you literally are almost back up against a wall.
Right.
Which is not ideal.
So it causes the game to be
glitchy.
It doesn't always get your movement, so you can be really good at something, but the game is just not picking up.
Right.
And so I tried to correct all this, and I went out and got the new Oculus Quest 2.
Wow.
Because it's completely wireless. And I read that you can cast it to a television, and everything is great. I actually find that the gameplay is more smooth.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
It's more mobile. You can play anywhere without taking the PlayStation, the VR converter box, a headset, the 2 controllers, and the regular controller to be able to navigate the screen. It's
all in one.
all in one.
And so when you're wearing this headset thing on your head, it also has speakers so that the player can hear what's going on.
Yeah, the actual speakers are pretty decent.
They're really decent.
Yeah.
And man, can I just tell you, there's this one game that he bought. I don't know if you remember the name, but it's like the roller coaster thing.
So there are games, I feel that there are games, there's a certain genre of games that we like to play. Like we're not playing Call of Duty.
We're not shoot 'em up, kill 'em kind of people.
I like those games, but in VR, like I can't walk because then you want to move forward, and then a lot of them have the teleport feature. I just find incredibly annoying. There's too many buttons, so I just avoid them at all. I like standing in one place and doing
your
stuff.
thing. Yeah.
But so I found a game called Coaster Combat.
So much fun.
And it's so freaking fun, man.
And there are different themes that you can pick different things you want to go through. There's
5 coasters.
There's
I
a
think.
haunted mansion. There is a neon roller coaster. There's a volcano that you go through. There's a swashbuckling pirate thing. And you literally you sit down and play this game, and you literally
you can stand, and I did it.
You almost fell down.
I got about 10 seconds of gameplay, and I found myself leaning forward, and I was like, I gotta sit down for this.
You literally feel like you're on a roller coaster, and you have a gun in each hand, and you have to like shoot like
you get like
ghosts or gems or money. It's fun.
It's really cool.
But you don't have to shoot things. You could also just ride it like a ride.
That is an option. We haven't tried that, but that is an option.
And I literally felt like I was moving.
It's fun.
Crazy.
Yeah, especially when you come to the end and it comes to a stop.
It comes to a stop and you
get
go,
that laugh.
you literally move.
You kind of come forward with anticipation of a jerk, like when a roller coaster comes to a stop. But no, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot. I just think the gameplay is so slick and clear and smooth. I also find the headset more comfortable and more secure than the PlayStation version.
But we'd still have the PlayStation 2 because that's fun with a big group. Everybody can watch along on the TV and listen to the music. And so anyway, we're having so much fun with our games, and we have that, and we've got old-fashioned skee-ball and Pac-Man, and now we've got Scrabble and all these games on this really fun electronic board game.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend
a game table.
Yeah, if you and your family enjoy like board games, like getting around a table and enjoying some stuff and without pulling out boxes and pieces and missing pieces, and if you have some discretionary money to earmark, because it's not that inexpensive.
It's like $800.
You get the arcade one-up infinity table.
It's so cool, guys.
Cool.
You can sit around and play. You can play you can play Pictionary. You can play Trivial Pursuit. You can play Scrabble, which works great in the electronic form.
Yeah,
moving your tiles around.
Battleship.
Battleship,
really
so
well.
Fun.
It's a fun thing, and there's more games coming out constantly.
Yeah, because it literally just came out.
Just came out.
We're like one of the first people to ever have one.
Yeah,
because we were on the waiting list.
Well, we're not the first because it was on a GoFundMe, so those people got those first. Not a GoFundMe. What do you call those? When you GoFundMe is like for people
that have a problem. This was a Kickstarter. Yeah. It was on Kickstarter before.
So we're like the second batch.
I love it. Well,
it's fun.
Our whole body dryer is coming soon, and we got that on Kickstarter.
Really?
Yeah. So this is literally a dryer that mounts to the wall in your bathroom, and when you get out of the shower, you don't need a towel. You just pull this thing and you just dry your whole body.
You've been talking about that for a while. I didn't know you
so excited. Oh, I bought it. Yeah. It's coming. We'll put it on our new bathroom.
Yes.
Because it turns out we're going to have to redo our whole master bathroom.
Oh, my God.
It's like a mess. It's a disaster. We can't even take showers in our own shower anymore. No. We have to go down the hall. But luckily, we have another shower that we can use. So we're okay. We're going to the gym every day to take showers.
Great.
Hey, update from last week. OnlyFans. I guess they woke up.
They got the sense knocked back into them.
They realized that the whole world was telling them that you were making a very stupid mistake by banning porn and nakedness on your website. So last Wednesday, they reversed their decision, and they're now going to, I don't know, keep it the way it is.
Keep it the way it is.
Yeah.
What it was really meant to be.
Tim Stokely, who was the original guy who created the site, and I guess he owns probably most of the stock. Is it a stock company? Is it a publicly traded company? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
He said that they were having problems with the banks refusing to work with them because of, like MasterCard and Visa and stuff.
Right.
And obviously, that's not the case anymore because they backtracked on it, and now they can keep their explicit content.
I knew something.
It's what
about
the
that
people
didn't-
want.
I knew something like that didn't. It just didn't.
It didn't add up.
make sense because
There's porn sites everywhere that take MasterCard and Visa.
who cares?
Right. Who
They
cares?
want to make money.
It's a
What's it
legal
matter to them?
product.
Right.
Right. It's so stupid. And you saw what happened. We talked about that last week. What happened with Tumblr? I mean, they were once $1 billion company, then they were a $3 million company because they got rid of all the sex.
Exactly.
Sex sells, people.
It sure does.
OnlyFans listen to us. They woke up. What other news do we have? We've been talking about. We talked about it when we were watching it. The Bryan Cranston series that was on Showtime called Your Honor.
Lovely show.
It was a limited series. It was just one season, and that's all it was ever going to be, because it was really kind of tied up. I mean,
It was.
at the end, it was
yeah.
a trap. I won't give it away because I think you guys should watch it if you haven't watched it yet. But it was kind of a tragic end.
I thought the
but it
ending
was a
was
fitting,
perfect.
It was a fitting end.
Perfect.
But I guess Showtime got really great reviews and great viewership on this, so they're bringing Bryan Cranston back, and they're going to do another season of the show. Maybe a revenge season? I don't know. There's a lot that can happen.
Well, the thing that could happen is, I believe, I don't know how I can say this without giving it away, but it's been a while since it's been out. But the person who did this event, I mean, he was actually in the place and was seen by all these people.
Right.
So this next thing, could, and maybe it lands his, maybe it's going to be his case. I don't know.
Yeah, he's trying to say it without saying it. But it is Bryan Cranston plays a judge in New Orleans, and his life is turned upside down when his dumbass son runs over the kid of a local mob boss.
Right.
I think everyone knows that, or that's even in the previews for the show. So he has to deal with the fact that his kid killed the kid of a local mob boss, and of course all the ramifications that come with that. And he's a judge. He's one of the premier respected judges in New Orleans. And it's fun because the whole thing is filmed in New Orleans, and maybe they might have to wait until they clean up New Orleans before they can tape season 2. But it's a really good show. Bryan Cranston, glad to have him back on TV. So he's really good in this show. So
nice.
I don't think we're going to see this until late next year, maybe even to 2023.
Yeah.
Because they haven't even put it.
They haven't done anything with
They haven't
it, as far
done
as I
anything
know.
yet. Yeah. We have at least 3 Samsung TVs in our house, I believe.
I think so.
This news just came out last week. You guys may have a Samsung TV in your house. All the TVs now are smart TVs. You know this. We just bought an LG one for the guest room where you don't even need cable. You don't even need an air antenna. You can turn this damn thing on, connect it to your Wi-Fi, and you can get all this content. I mean, there's just free stuff that, especially in a guest room where guests just need to watch something when they're getting ready or going to bed or something. You know, they can watch an old episode of That's My Mama or whatever, right?
Yes.
Was that a show?
I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell.
Or Give Me a Break, or Sister Sister. I think Sister Sister was one of the ones that was on when we turned on
I actually watched that. Yeah, what was on the other day?
Yeah. Anyway, Samsung announced that they can turn off TVs remotely.
I'm
and
not
I
surprised.
bet all the companies can do it.
Yeah.
So this is coming from, I guess, back in July. A bunch of TVs were stolen in South Africa, like tons and tons of TVs.
Jeez.
But Samsung knows the serial numbers of the TVs that were stolen. So they're probably stolen off a truck or a boat or one of those crates on a shipping crate. So they can literally go to their master computer or whatever and turn off those TVs and make them completely disabled so they will not work whatsoever.
I mean, that's kind of like, I think that's also a reason why people enjoy like having an iPhone, because that if it were to be stolen or lost, you can completely make it inoperable. I mean,
can you make it inoperable, or can you erase all your data off it?
You can lock it, and
you can lock it, and it'll never work again. Yeah. See, that's good. So maybe this is not very surprising that a company like Samsung can do this. But why can't we do that with our cars? So if my car is stolen, why can't I immediately go on my app on my phone? Because all the car companies have apps now. You and I can both control our cars, my Ford, your Jeep, with our phones. Why couldn't we just disable the car? So it just all of a sudden turns off, and they have to pull over to the side of the road, and they cannot drive that car.
Maybe you wouldn't. That actually might be more dangerous than just letting someone take it. I could see having like a GPS with it, or you can track and see where your car always is.
Well, we can do that. But both you and I can do that with our cars.
But turning it off might be actually more dangerous.
Would it?
I mean, you might not give a shit about who stole your car.
Have to pull over.
But if he's on the highway or something,
or on a bridge,
and all of a sudden the car fucking stops, and
so what? That's his bad.
I mean, what if he's in the middle lane on the 405, and all of a sudden his car just turns off?
So funny because earlier today when we were having our lunch, sometimes I turn on HGTV while we're eating lunch.
Yeah.
And they have that Flipper Flap show on with Christina and Tarek or whatever his name is.
Tarek.
And while they were filming one of the episodes, her car was stolen from the street right in front of the house. Do you remember that?
No.
And her purse was in there. It's crazy.
Jesus.
So you should be able to just like press a button and just disable your car. I think it's a great idea.
I like it. We should have more control over the things that we own.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, there's all that controversy of whether or not you're allowed to have your iPhone or iPad serviced by a non-Apple service company. Because if you have someone touch your device, which you own 100% of, it completely negates the warranty if you have someone else touch it.
I've seen those.
Does that make sense? I guess it might. But so if I buy a Ford Expedition, which is the car I drive, and I take it to Joe's car shop down the street, and he's not an authorized Ford fixer, does that negate my warranty? Well, if I had a warranty, why would I take it to Joe's? I would take it back to Ford.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that in a way. I mean, because if you're making a product, right, and you would have trained these authorized people in your way of doing the service, and Joe Schmo just think, oh, I just know everything about cars, which might be true. All cars are generally the same.
Yeah, but they used to be. Now they're so sophisticated, and they have onboard computers and stuff that I don't even know how Joe Schmo can fix cars anymore.
Yeah.
He can fix old cars. How would he know about that computer in my Expedition that makes the running boards go up and down and all that kind of stuff?
Sure you can buy equipment to plug it into your car to see what's going on.
Speaking of cars, I love this. I wanted to put a little good news in today's episode because last week we did, I was listening back for last week's episode, and Dale, I was so negative, and it was all bad news, and it was all rants, and it was just
we were fed up.
It was one rant after another. And so I just really wanted this show to have a little bit more happy news.
Yeah.
There's a German company that makes concrete to charge electric vehicles from the road.
I freaking love this.
With 95% efficiency and low cost. I love this. Let me tell you how this works. Indiana is thinking about doing this. It could be the first state in the union to have wireless charging roads that top off your electric vehicle as you drive. So, you could plug your car in at your house at night.
Right.
But while you're driving to work, you could be just keeping your charge the whole time because there's going to be these transmitter coils and a magnetic field underneath the road that the car is going to receive, and it will recharge the battery as you go. Isn't that amazing?
It's pretty damn cool.
This is a German company that developed this, and Indiana is seriously thinking about doing this and putting it into some of their major roadways.
This is something
I love this.
Price is still an issue here for electric vehicles, especially for some luxury ones. However, this right here could be a reason to get people into more electric vehicles.
It would be
because, like you said here, I think a lot of people who maybe they live in really less populous states, and you really have to travel really, really far to get places. That an electric vehicle is just not going to cut it.
That's why we live in southern Delaware, where we're in the boondocks, the country, That's
Yeah,
probably
but-
not going to come here first.
No.
It's going to come to major cities first.
Right.
And an electric car might not be the best thing for us.
Right. Because I would love to have one. I think they're cool.
I think they're super cool and they're good for the environment.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I still think that having one, it's an expensive car because I would like to have a Tesla.
Or a Lucid,
But
that new Lucid
it would just
Motors that's coming
basically
out.
maybe just be like in-town driving.
Right.
You go to the beach and come back.
Although the new Lucid Motors, they say they get 500 miles to a single charge, which is pretty good.
That's awesome.
And it's faster than a Ferrari. So I like that. With electric, Dale.
I know.
All electric.
Of course, we haven't seen it. I love the onboard system of the Tesla. I've never seen it in person, just in videos, but it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. Now, of course, a lot of people say, all these car companies and all these jurisdictions and government are saying everything needs to go electric by a certain date, a certain year in the future. Where does most of our electricity come from? Most of our electricity comes from fossil fuels.
Exactly.
So we really need to up our solar and wind production
Agreed.
in this country, or everyone having an electric car is kind of moot because it's going to take even more fossil fuels to fuel these fucking cars, So unless we really change our infrastructure, which I know the Democrats are trying to do. Anyway, who knows? Are they going to put more charging stations in Seaford, Delaware? That's what we need. We're going to buy one of these. Have you seen one?
No, I haven't seen one.
They don't even have it at Royal Farms?
Not here.
No, not here.
But there are some
I bet
around.
I bet electric cars aren't a real big commodity in this
but
neck of the woods.
Right. I mean, there's not even a dealership. I think the closest Tesla dealership is in Washington, D.C.
God.
I don't even think there's one like in Annapolis.
Yeah.
Which I would. It's like, there should definitely be
When
one.
we were living in DC, when we were living in Las Vegas, we saw tons and tons of stations. Like all the casinos have them.
Tons.
And they're primo parking too.
They are.
So
They are.
if you
They're
want
pretty
to
cool.
park your electric vehicle, you're right next to the door and you can plug
Yep.
it in. And it's free.
Mm-hmm.
You can charge up because they want you to gamble. All right, now it's our what the fuck. We're going to tell you what the fuck.
WGF.
Brandeis. Is it Brandeis? Why can't I say the name of this school?
I honestly don't know how you pronounce
Brandeis. I think it's Brandeis.
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 I've always said Brandeis.
I really think it's Brandeis. I think my sister told me that this weekend because we were talking about this. Super woke Brandeis University expands their list of
You just said
Brandeis. Brandeis.
Okay, moving on.
Brandeis University expands their list of words and phrases to avoid using. More than a dozen words and phrases have been added to their widely criticized compendium. Compendium?
Yeah.
Of violent and identity-based terminology ahead of the start of the fall semester this past Thursday. So this is an elite Massachusetts school.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. I looked it up. It's $75,000 a year to go to the
Yikes.
school.
Yikes.
Which for one is criminal.
Right.
No education should cost. What is that? That's $300,000 for a kid to go to a 4-year college.
I know.
No wonder every kid in the country is fucking poor as shit because
Right.
they're paying off their student loans. That's no. What kind of education are you getting that costs $75,000?
Exactly. None of them are worth that much.
And let me tell
None
you,
of them.
let me tell you, parents out there that are paying $75,000, if your kid decides to be an art major, or a German major, or a life sciences or women's studies
Gender
major,
studies.
tell them to think again.
Right.
If you're going to pay $75,000 for that,
Right.
tell them to get a degree in something useful, like
a doctor.
doctor.
Well, see, that's something
Lawyer.
that I feel should be 75,000.
Maybe. No, you can get a lawyer degree a law degree without spending that much money.
Doctor.
Doctor. We need more doctors.
Right.
They should make that free. We need more. We're running out of doctors.
I know.
There's a huge doctor shortage. There's a huge nurses shortage. Did you know there's a flight attendant shortage? I just read about this yesterday.
No,
There's
I did
not enough flight attendants. We're screwed.
Uh-oh. Yeah, because you can't fly without them.
Of course, there's no food or drink, so who cares if there's a flight attendant on there or not? Anyway, some of the things that they've decided that we're not allowed to say anymore is, I'm so OCD. They suggest that that's, offensive to people who actually have OCD. So you should say instead, you should say, I'm very organized. I'm very detail oriented.
Stupid. No one's going to say that.
You're not allowed to say whipped into shape because that invokes slavery and torture. So instead, you should say, I'm very organized. I'm going to spruce you up. I'm going to put you in order. That's what you should say instead of whipping someone into shape. Then there's violent idioms about animals. Things like there's more than one way to skin a cat or killing two birds with one stone. And of course, my favorite, beating a dead horse.
All right. So this, and I meant to send this to you today, but I came across a TikTok, and it's this kid who just basically irritates his father constantly. And I guess he got really fed up. He's like, I don't understand why you do this because you do the same thing over and over and over again. It's just redundant. He's like, so he looks at his dad. He's like, so you're saying that it's like beating off to a dead horse?
Oh no.
He's like, oh, so, and then something else, but he also said killing a bird with two stones.
Killing a bird.
I'll send it to you. It's funny. It's better to watch it.
It is funny because a lot of people get those kind of things wrong.
Right.
And they think it's right.
I almost think this kid did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, so you're saying I'm beating off to a dead horse?
I like that. Well, that would be disgusting.
Right.
Some people might be into that.
That's funny.
No, I like that. I like to call people out on saying that they're going to pull a piece of meat out of the freezer so they can de-thaw it. Well, if you de-thaw it, that means you're going to freeze it because you need to thaw it, not de-thaw. But lots of people say de-thaw.
You just say things and it just sticks, and that's what you say.
Right, and it sticks
no
with your
sense.
life. Anyway, people don't want you to kill a horse or a bird or a cat, so they say other things that you could say is multiple ways to accomplish a task, feeding two birds with one seed, or refusing to let something go, which none of this makes any fucking sense. We're not allowed to call that space, those parking spaces near the building, a handicap space. That's not cool anymore.
It doesn't give a recommendation for this one, does it?
Because it trivializes the experience of people living with disabilities. You're not allowed to call your son or a friend of yours a spaz, because that might sound like, they're literally having some kind of spaz attack. So you should just call them clumsy. They also said that the phrase Facebook stalking is bad because it gives people the idea of actual stalking, and that's very dangerous and life altering. So instead, you should say lurking or researching online.
Well, that's why you put Facebook in front of it,
right?
Just stupid.
You're not allowed to use the term wife beater because that trivializes relationship violence.
I've often wondered where did
wife beater come from? Yeah, because a guy who would wear... I
assume it's just a stereotype.
Right, it's a stereotypical thing because the guy who might beat his wife and live in a trailer and have a dog named Bubba probably wears a tank top.
Because growing up, I called it the A-shirt for a little while.
Yeah.
And then it was wife beater.
It's always wife beater.
But they call it
and
A-shirt.
It's fine. And wives should be beaten more often so that they get dinner on table.
There you go.
In a timely manner. Anyway, a lot of people are having a big problem with all this bullshittery. And it's like, listen, just teach our kids some practical shit.
Right.
They'll learn this other stuff in time. And yes, we believe that you should be nice to all people and you shouldn't make fun of people that have differences or diversities or whatever, handicaps, otherwise enabled.
But this right here is an example.
This is just going too far.
You're creating more issues than if we're just to leave the shit alone.
So
leave it alone.
Let's just kill.
No one has ever thought about this.
Let's just kill two birds with one stone and just do away with all of this.
Yeah. Beat off to a dead horse.
As soon as we get done taping this show, I'm going to go beat off to a dead horse. Anyway, a leading linguist and Columbia University professor, John McWhorter, says that we are being preached to by people on a quest to change reality through the performative policing of manners. And isn't that exactly what's happening in 2021? Everyone wants to police manners and police thought and police opinion.
Right.
You're not allowed to have another opinion if it's not the opinion that you agree with.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
And it's really getting Too much. Let me tell you who has a lot of his own opinions.
Yeah.
Kanye West has petitioned to legally change his name to Ye. Y-E. Ye. Well, Ye is stupid, dude, because that's a dumb name. I think Ye just wants some more attention.
Yes.
Kanye West's Donda album finally dropped after being delayed for several weeks, several months, actually. It's getting kind of mixed reviews. Apparently, he's singing a lot about God, his dead mother, who was Donda. He named the album after his dead mother. And Kim, because he really would like to have Kim back.
So I only seen one clip, and this was. Did you see anything of it with the church and the people walking around it?
Yeah.
It was just a weird thing. And Marilyn Manson came out.
Marilyn Manson was there. Yeah.
And he's like going through legal troubles now.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
All kinds
He's
of
gonna be
sexual
in jail.
harassment stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kanye West is a freak, but he knows how to get attention. He knows how to get people to talk about him and get people to write about him. And I don't know why they're buying his shit, but he had these 3 different listening parties at these major venues, and he made millions and millions and millions of dollars on merchandise.
Right.
So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, of course he does.
He's kind of a dumb genius.
I'm not a fan, but
I'm not a fan at all. There's like one song that I like. That way back song from a million years ago.
Gold Digger.
That everyone knows, right? Otherwise, he's got some. Well, he's got some mental issues, and he's talked about that publicly.
I believe that, and
yeah,
he needs to be.
I think he's bipolar. Actually, I think
medicated.
All right. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Speaking of albums. You guys, I know you have heard about this, but Nirvana's Nevermind cover from 25 more than that, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
There's a new lawsuit. It's I'm calling him mega opportunist. Spencer Eldon. He's the kid, he's the baby that's on the cover of that iconic album
naked
cover.
Baby. Yeah.
With his penis out and a dollar bill floating in the water. His family was paid $200 for the 15-minute photo shoot way back in God knows how many years ago. And he has recreated the cover. You showed this to me on your phone. I mean, he's recreated the cover
I think
several times over the years.
Yeah.
Especially in 2016 when he recreated the cover for the 25th anniversary of the album on bequest of the producers or whatever.
Right.
And he did it. And he said that at the time that he even offered to do it naked.
Yeah.
They didn't think that was a great idea.
No.
So they put him in a bathing
It's
suit.
It's fine to see a little baby, but a grown man. What are you gonna? You can't show it.
So now Spencer is suing the members of Nirvana and the producers, $150,000 each.
Yeah.
10 different people.
Yep.
And he thinks because of mental abuse and child pornography and all the crap he went through over the years. Now he's just decided that this is a mental anguish thing for him because he's been totally on board.
I know.
His whole life.
Right.
With this. No one thinks that this is going to even make it to court because it's just so friggin' stupid.
Like, I don't want to see it go to court, and I also don't even want to see it settled.
Yeah.
It should just not go anywhere.
Let's just go away.
Yeah.
You know, he could have just stayed anonymous and nobody would have known it was him.
Right.
Because nobody's going to look at that picture and say, hey,
I know you.
To the 30-year-old Spencer Eldon and say, you're on the Nevermind cover.
Right.
Now, in related news, while I was typing up my notes for today's show, I listened to the entire album. It's one fucking great album.
One of their best ones.
It's a frigging great. Every song on there is great.
Yeah. Does that one have Teen Spirit on it? It does, right?
I don't remember. Probably. Yeah, I think it's the first cut off the album.
Yeah.
Anyway, great album. Too bad that Kurt Cobain killed himself because he could have gone far in life. We got one more thing before we leave you because we don't want to go super long today because it's the last day of summer.
Right.
Carole Baskin has officially sold Joe Exotic's zoo. Did you hear this news?
No, this is news to me.
Baskin sold the Oklahoma property that was previously used as an exotic animal park and heavily featured, obviously, on the Tiger King reality show.
Right.
The stipulation was when she sold the property, which is several acres. I mean, it's 16,000 acres.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Was that it could never be used for anything related to the popular Netflix series, which she, didn't authorize. If it becomes an RV park or a storage unit, I don't want it named Tiger King RV Park or Tiger King Storage Place. We would like the 20 years of mistreatment of animals there to be forgotten and to be history, which I think is great.
That would
right?
be nice, right?
We don't need to preserve everything, especially not that kind of thing.
I mean, but can you really stipulate a name on a commercial thing?
I don't know. Apparently, you can try, and maybe that was part of the contract that they made up with these new owners.
All right, and maybe I could see that for the first owner. If I sold you my zoo,
But would it live in perpetual, forever?
and
right?
you bought it, and if I were you, I would just sell it to an entity under mine, and it's like, fuck that shit.
I don't know how you can put a stipulation on that.
Can't.
Like this house that we bought from the previous owners, if they said you're never allowed to paint the basement green, I mean, and what if we painted the basement green? I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
That's not a bad idea if you wanted to do like a real virtual reality cave down here.
You talked about doing that.
Really awesome.
We might need a green room.
Incredibly expensive.
I didn't know this. Did you know that Joe Exotic is currently serving a 22-year sentence for the murder for hire plot to try to kill the woman who sold
I know.
the zoo?
I knew he was in jail. I didn't know how much time he got.
He also got multiple violations for wildlife law. He did horrible things to those animals.
Yeah.
A planned Amazon series, we've talked about this on the show, with Nicolas Cage playing Joe Exotic, has been scrapped. Did you know that? It's not going forward.
I'm very excited. We don't want more of this, do we?
No.
Enough is enough.
I don't think we need any more Joe Exotic. I don't think we need Carole Baskin. I mean, she was on fucking
Dancing with the
Stars. She's not a star.
No.
She was a blip on the radar, and now she can officially go away. I wonder how much money do you make off selling a 16,000 acre piece of property?
Where's it at? In Alabama?
Oklahoma. Probably 10 cents an acre.
Man, it's a big property though.
It's probably more than that. But that's a lot. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't know. I mean, if they make it into an RV park, it's going to be a fucking big RV park.
Damn right.
All right, just a reminder, there's no Binge Bum this Friday because that show is on hiatus, but it's starting with season 2 next Friday.
That's right.
September 10th. We're excited about that. And Dale and I have been making lots of notes. We have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, have you been putting stuff in the thing? Yeah.
A lot of bingey stuff has been announced since we've been on hiatus. So
but I'm excited because I think there's a lot of things coming. It's turning fall. Things are coming back late September, October.
October's going to be huge, Dale.
Yes.
Huge for streaming video.
Yep. Can't wait.
A lot to talk about.
Cannot wait.
All right, love you guys. We'll see you next week. Or we won't see you, but you can hear us.
Yeah.
They can watch an old episode of That's My Mama or whatever, right?
Yes.
Was that a show?
I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell.